So the last category of player type, the strategic player. And again, this is a combination. Everybody is a little bit of a strategic player, but strategies in this game are, of course, mostly about managing fleets, managing ships, managing stations. So this is where the part of the game that plays mostly on the map. Here you see your property overview. This is a list of all the ships, all the stations that you own, and how they are related to each other. You can manage things and put ships into fleets, for example, or let them work as subordinates for stations or also for other ships. So this part of management is crucial for the strategy side of the game. Something that I've already mentioned before is the order queue, but the order queue is super essential for the strategic part of playing. In this queue you can see exactly what your ships will be doing in the future, and the order queue is also represented as a blue line for every of the ships that you own and have actively selected on the map. You will see the line showing where the ship will be going in the future, and for every command that it executes there is a little icon that represents what it's going to do. So if it's a trader, it goes from station to station trading. If it's a ship that has an exploration command, you can see the radius. So this is a very intuitive interface for everybody who has ever played a strategy game before. An important concept on the map is to understand that you get something different depending on if you have already a ship selected or if there is nothing selected. If you just right-click on the map without any prior selection, you will have the context menu that you can personally do. So these are commands for your current ship, whereas if you have a selection, one of your ships in the best case, then the right-click menu, the context menu, will give you options and commands for that particular ship. And this can also be done with multiple ships. You can do a multi-ship selection by holding down the shift key and then dragging a rectangle and then giving orders to multiple ships at once. This is, again, I think very intuitive for everybody who ever played a strategy game before. In the behavior menu of your ship, which is a subsection of the info menu, you not just see the order queue, but also behaviors. And behaviors are basically orders that take a longer period of time. Usually they are permanent, they take forever, if you will. And they can create orders implicitly. A behavior can be something like automatically trade for me and always trade these two wares, or also automatically mine this area of space. Behavior can come with a higher level of automation. In that case, they require very skilled pilots. So, as you will see, some of the behaviors have minimum skill requirements, which are indicated by those star levels. And only the better pilots, those that have already gained more experience in the game, can execute them. So while a behavior can create a normal order, there is also something we call an override order. And that is what happens when your ship runs into an unpredicted situation. And that's, for example, when one of your ship's smuggling wares is being scanned by the police. Or when any of your ships is being intercepted by pirates. In that case, they usually call you and ask you what to do. But you can also pre-select under global behavior in your empire management menu how they should react by default, so that you do not have to react every time. For example, you can tell them to flee every time or to fight back every time. This action is called an override order because it jumps to the very top of your order queue, obviously. I mean, they may be having 10 more orders to do, they want to be trading, mining or whatever, but right now they are being intercepted by pirates, so reacting to those pirates is now a priority and jumps to the top of the order queue. But this also allows you to change the order afterwards. So you can always go to any of the ships that are indicating a blinking order symbol to show that they are currently doing an override order. So that means something important is going on with that ship. Click on them, go to the behavior menu, and you can change this order and, for example, tell a ship that decided to fight that it's better to flee because maybe their hull is already on a critical level. Again, pilot skills can be very important, and not just pilot skills but also other crew skills. Like even the normal crew on your ship is getting better when they learn more during the game, and especially marine skills are important because that helps you a lot in the boarding activity. But all of those people working for you get better when you let them do something. But not all activities are the same in that regard. A ship that's just trading is not giving the crew as much experience as one that is doing a more exciting action. For example, exploration. Or when they are in a fight, they probably learn more than anybody else. So ships that are surviving fights are giving their crew the highest gain in skill. And another way, as I mentioned before already, is playing ventures. So sending them into other player universes on the online gameplay is also a good way to train your crew. For those few very best pilots, you can also use seminars. Seminars are sometimes a reward that you can get at different places in the game, and can then be applied to individual crew members or pilots in order to get them an entire star further up in their skill. A nice feature in the strategy gameplay is also formations. You can select different formations, and some again require better pilots than others, and that changes how your ships are grouping together. When you assign one ship to another ship or a ship to a station, you are in effect setting up subordinates. So at that moment, the boss, the higher one in that hierarchy, is giving orders to its subordinates. And usually you can just say what type of job this ship is doing for the other ship. For example, a typical role would be defend. And that means the wingman in a group will be defending the leader. This is of course very useful for trading ships. You can select a couple of fast scout ships to defend your trader. But this is also very useful for assigning trading ships to a station in order to have the manager of that station use those ships to supply itself with resources or even to sell off its products. That's not needed because you can just normally also rely on NPCs to do this for you. So you're just creating trade offers like every NPC normally does as well, and then the other traders in the universe will come and bring resources to you or buy products from you. But assigning your own ships can help to do this more efficiently or faster sometimes. Another very advanced feature for the strategic player is the supply ship. The supply ship basically works almost like a flying wharf or shipyard. It's able to supply smaller ships that dock to it with new ammunition. So this is very useful if you build up your entire fleet and want to have more ammunition that can normally fit into smaller ships, or if you want to even repair the ships while in a big battle. So supply ships are super cool for large fleet battles. The most expensive and one of the coolest looking capital ships is of course a carrier, like this cool new Split carrier ship in the Split Vendetta expansion, which allows lots and lots of S-ships to dock to it. So you can have a large fleet starting and landing relatively quickly from this very, very powerful base. In addition to repairing ships at wharves and shipyards or with a supply ship, you can also use repair drones. So we already talked about fight drones that can be used as attack measures, and also about trade drones that are needed to exchange wares on a short distance. But repair drones can be put on any ship, a larger ship especially, to be deployed and repair a ship automatically. So this gives you a limited minimum repair of the hull of a ship. Ultimately, the most important currency for a strategic player is our relations, political relations with factions. That's even more important than money for these kind of players. And You can, this is both true for your own reputation, your own relation with all the other factions. Of course, as I said already, you can improve those with trading with factions or by killing enemies of a faction in their territory. Then they reward you with better relations. Or of course by subscribing to their war efforts, the subscription missions that I mentioned before. But all of those things are just relations to you. What's also important is the knowledge about the relations between NPC factions. And there is a really cool gameplay feature with the new plot in 3.0 that allows you to even influence the diplomatic, through diplomatic efforts, the relation between NPC factions. So you can actually make a difference if a war continues or if the universe is more at peace. This is a really cool new feature in 3.0. There are even more features that I haven't really got to cover in this video, like for example also the ability to own your own sectors and then set up rules for it, like which wares are legal and illegal. I only quickly mentioned the whole online gameplay that allows you to send ships into other universes, other player universes, which we intend to improve upon in the near future. And many more things that I probably forgot. But as I said, the game is really huge and big, and the idea is always that you have a universe and you don't even need to know all of those things. The idea with an X game is that here's a universe for you. You can do in this universe what you like to do and have fun with it. And while you are playing it, you learn a lot of the activities. I just hope that this video might help the one or the other to learn about some of the things that you may have missed so far. So maybe it was helpful in that regard. If you do like it, please subscribe. Please go to our website. The biggest community for X games is of course on egosoft.com, where we have a very active forum. Yeah, and I hope to see you again soon for the next video. Goodbye. This video is part of a series explaining the features of X4 Foundations. There are parts about trade, fight, build, think, explore and strategy gameplay. Choose the next one you are interested in from the Egosoft YouTube channel or the playlist to watch them all in one session.